The Atlantic Ocean is a graveyard unfathomable in its depth. It keeps its secrets well, swallowing ships and souls whole, usually leaving nothing behind but foam and silence. But sometimes, the ocean refuses to bury the dead. December 4th, 1872. Midway between the Azores and the coast of Portugal, Captain Morehouse of the Dei Grazia spots a vessel adrift. He recognizes her lines. It is the Mary Celeste. She should have already arrived in Genoa. Instead, she is here, battling the currents with no one at the helm. A boarding party is sent. As their boots hit the deck, they are met with a sound more unsettling than any storm. Total, absolute silence. The ship is seaworthy. The hull is sound. There is water in the hold, but not enough to sink her. She is a perfectly functional vessel abandoned in the middle of a void. Below decks, the mystery deepens from maritime curiosity to chilling enigma. There are no signs of struggle, no blood, no chaos. It is as if the 10 souls aboard simply evaporated into the salt air. This is the defining image of maritime mystery. A floating tomb, sailing on towards oblivion, refusing to tell us why. To understand the horror of the void, we must understand what filled it before the silence arrived. The Mary Celeste was not captained by a fool or a novice. Benjamin Spooner Briggs was a man with salt in his blood, a master mariner from Massachusetts, respected, deeply religious, and known for his cautious competence. He was not a man prone to panic. This voyage was more than commerce. It was a family transit. Beside him was his wife, Sarah. By all accounts, a devoted partner willing to brave the harsh Atlantic to be with her husband. And with them, their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia, an innocent amidst the unforgiving machinery of 19th-century shipping. 7 crewmen were also aboard, experienced German and Danish sailors, men with clean records. These were not pirates or mutineers in waiting. They were husbands, fathers, and sons, executing a routine transport of cargo to Italy. When they departed New York in November 1872, they carried hopes of a profitable run in a Mediterranean winter. They were solid, reliable people, which makes their total disappearance all the more terrifying. The Dei Grazia crew didn't just find an empty ship, they found a crime scene frozen in time. The clues they discovered were contradictory, maddening, and bizarre. The ship's log was found in the mate's cabin. The final entry was dated 9 days prior to the discovery. It was routine. Whatever happened, happened after that date, and it happened fast. Crucially, the ship's navigational instruments, the sextant and chronometer, were gone. Captain Briggs had taken them. This suggests an orderly, intentional departure, not a sudden abduction. The ship carried one yawl boat. It was missing. The davits were swung out. They had launched the lifeboat. 10 people packed into a small, open boat in the middle of the Atlantic winter. Why? The cargo was 1,700 barrels of raw, industrial alcohol. Dangerous, flammable, but valuable. 9 barrels were found empty. Had they leaked? Had they been drunk by a thirsty crew? The remaining cargo was intact, ruling out piracy. And then, the most cinematic, yet perhaps most misleading clue. Under the captain's bed, a sheathed sword. Upon inspection, it showed signs of what some claimed was blood, though later analysis suggested mere rust. A 6-month supply of food and fresh water remained untouched. The crew's pipes and tobacco were still in their quarters, items no sailor would willingly leave behind. They left in a profound hurry, yet took the time to navigate. The clues point everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. In the vacuum of facts, theories rushed in, ranging from the plausible to the preposterous. The earliest theory was mutiny. Had the crew, perhaps having broken into the alcohol cargo, turned on the stern Captain Briggs and his family? Yet, There were no signs of a struggle. The cargo was industrial ethanol, hardly potable stuff, and Briggs was known as a fair captain. Mutiny seems a violent answer to a peaceful scene. The Victorian public, obsessed with the Gothic and the unknown, favored darker explanations. Sea monsters, giant squids pulling the crew to the depths. Or perhaps a waterspout, a sudden tornado at sea, that struck so fast they abandoned ship, only for the Mary Celeste to survive while their small lifeboat was swamped. But modern investigation points to a theory grounded in chemistry and fear. The cargo, industrial alcohol. The theory posits that the barrels, perhaps tossing in rough seas, began to leak. Alcohol fumes built up in the unventilated hold. A change in temperature or pressure caused a pressure explosion, not fire, but a massive, terrifying blast of fumes blowing off the hatch covers. Captain Briggs, smelling the fumes and hearing the blast, believing his ship was about to become a towering inferno, made a fatal, split-second decision. He ordered everyone into the lifeboat. They would tow behind the ship on a long line, waiting to see if she exploded. But the wind picked up. The Mary Celeste, her sails still set, surged ahead. The towline snapped. The sturdy ship sailed on, a ghost turning its back on its masters. And the 10 souls of the Briggs family and crew were left bobbing in a tiny boat, watching their salvation disappear over the horizon, before the cold Atlantic claimed them forever.